But you see, we always talk about the fixes. There are three moves: honest, courageous, and immediately transformating moves and fixes I will recommend for you. Number one, apply the same attribution standard to your failures. To that, your failures. The same way that you apply them to your successes. Okay? When a positive outcome occurs, before claiming full internal credit, ask honestly, what external factors contributed to this success? What favorable circumstances? What market timing? What are the things? Yeah, team contributions or fortunate coincidence played a role that I might be underweighing and overweighing my own contributions. So when a negative outcome occurs too, before assigning external blame, ask honestly, what external factors contributed to the failure? And what internal factors contributed to that? What decision did I make? What actions did I take or fail to take? What blind spots did I operate from that played a role in the outcome I got? Okay? This does not mean you should refuse to acknowledge all external explanations for failure. Markets do shift, teams do underperform. Some circumstances happen, intervening, macro issues come in. Circumstances do work against us, but this explanation should survive honest scrutiny. It should survive honest examination, not serve as the default refuge of an unexamined self-serving bias. Number two, build a personal accountability audit into every significant outcome review. Before conducting any post-mortem, on a failed project, a missed target, a relationship conflict, a poor decision, begin with one non-negotiable question directed entirely at yourself. Ask the question, what is my honest contribution to this outcome, independent of what anyone else did or didn't do? How did I fail in this? Write it down, be specific, be complete, be honest. Only after you've genuinely answered that question, fully, honestly, you've answered it without deflections, that's only when you should then examine the external factors. This sequencing matters enormously. Why? Because self-serving bias moves fastest towards external attribution, starting with internal accountability slows the bias down long enough for honest analysis to occur before your deflection sets in. So number three, create a trusted feedback relationship with someone who will not protect your self-image. Self-serving bias thrives in absence of honest external mirrors. Identify one person in your life, a mentor, a business partner, a trusted peer, your spouse, a coach, whose relationship with you is explicitly built on honest feedback rather than comfortable affirmation. Somebody who will tell you all the truth. Give them specific permission. Out loud, formally, clearly tell them to challenge your self-attributions, to ask you, when you claim credit, what else contributed to that? To ask you, when you assign blame externally, what was your part in this? This person is not your critic, they are your calibration partner. We've talked about calibration a lot. And the leader, the entrepreneur, the partner who has a genuine calibration partner, that person grows at a rate that the self-serving, protecting self-serving mind and simply cannot match. It outgrows the, the self-serving bias. You should have that person who actually listens to you deeper, and then you listen to him or her deeper. Here's the truth that self-serving bias has been working very hard to keep you from sitting with, to keep you from seeing. That truth is, myself, yourself, we are more responsible for our failures than we have been willing to admit. And you, myself, are less solely responsible for our successes than we have been taking credit for. Yeah? Both of those statements are uncomfortable. Both of them are also, in almost every case, true. The market conditions that hurt your business last quarter, were they entirely responsible, or did some strategic decisions you made 6 months earlier leave you more exposed to market shifts than you needed to be? A relative called me a few days ago and told me how he had problem, fought, he has police case at the moment, very, he sent me pictures of blood and everything. And I was looking for the loophole. And I saw that he left his phone in his office. He's a trader in his shop and moved out. And a customer was calling him and didn't see him. And another person took that customer to his own shop. And as he was passing, the customer saw him and followed him. And because the customer, followed him, the new guy, rather the one he was in his shop, not this my cousin, the one he was in his shop now came and started fighting him in his own shop. Now, can you imagine if he was with his phone? Can you imagine if he was with his phone, with his power bank to where he went? Immediately, the customer called him first. The customer would have just seen him and bought from him, because the customer could not recognize his shop again. You know how shop in open markets are. That little mistake of not taking his phone is now a police case. He told me he's not been to his shop in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and he's running out of cash. What's the point? The conflict in your relationship that your partner started, will you give them all the responsibility? Or did your partner's actions trigger what is already inside of you? Did your partner's withdrawal, did your partner's communication habits now infuriated you? What if you had acted, in a different way? Did they trigger your unaddressed emotional triggers, unaddressed emotional problems? Did they set the condition for the conflict that your action ignited? Ask these questions. Don't just think it's just one way. Yeah? When you do, everything becomes better. You remember, these are not comfortable questions. Even if as I'm asking them, you may just block your mind and you wouldn't even want to listen. They're not comfortable questions, but they're the most important questions available to you. Because here's what lives on the other side of genuinely answering them. When you answer them very well, you have accurate self-knowledge. You have real strategic improvement. You have genuine relational growth. You have the kind of leadership credibility everybody and every of your team member believes you. That kind of credibility that comes from a person who holds themselves accountable to the same standard they hold others. The leaders people follow most loyally, the entrepreneurs who build the most durable company, the partners who love most maturely, are almost never the ones with the most impressive self-image. They are the ones with the most accurate self-image. So stop protecting, stop being correct, start being accurate. The ones who say, with complete equanimity and complete honesty, this part worked because of these factors, internal and external. Here's what I am, taking personal responsibility for. Here's where I missed it. And here's where I'm committed to changing. That voice, clear, accountable, undefended. It's not weakness, or it's not the voice of weakness. It is actually the voice of the leader everyone in the room is waiting to follow. Stop being correct. Start being accurate. This is bias number 42. My name is Cussons, Africa's premium high performance thinking and strategic execution expert. Own your failures with the same completeness you claim your success, and watch what becomes possible. Share this with every entrepreneur, every leader. Share it with every person in relationship who is ready to trade self-protection for self-mastery. My name is Cussons. The question I always ask you, when was the last time you fed the mind that makes the money? Click the link below and be part of my masterclasses and my webinars.